Yeah. I hope you are doing fine.
Yes, I am.
That's good. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Basically, we last lesson. Sorry about what happened. My connection got some issues, and we did not conclude the lesson very well. But we were basically going through the content on the website, and I saw that Kayla, you went through it. I don't know if you had access to the assignment that was on it. Yes, Kayla.
Yes.
Did you have access to the assignment on the website?
No.
Because I saw you went through the content, but did not attempt the assignment.
Yes. I could not attempt the assignment. Not. It's not like I did not want to. I couldn't because the internet was already very, very bad.
Oh, yeah, last week's internet was not really good. Yeah, so basically, I'll just recap from last week's lesson. I've seen Isaac have also joined. What did you capture in the last lesson?
Captured that when one is drawing, he needs to have the principles and elements in mind.
Okay. You did not greet us. How are you?
I'm fine.
Wow, that's good. Okay, yeah, we talked about the principles of art. And Kylie, what did you get in the last lesson?
I in the last lesson I got the principles of art that are l- I can't remember right now. I have to go back to notes.
Okay. And we all realize that the principles of art, we have been using them either when we know or unknowingly. I want to share something. Just a moment. Okay. Uh, guys, a moment. Okay, so let me share, and we are going to first discuss this small work that we sent in. Then we shall go into the more discussion based on. Are you seeing the screen?
Yes.
It has nothing, not so?
Yes, it's just blank.
Okay. Yeah, so this is it. This was an assignment done by one of us, but from another class. We were basically dealing with the designing a signpost, poster. Oh yeah, it was graphics, and he designed this. It was really interesting, and I said, oh, will you share it to us in our group, in our lessons today? And the exercise was to design a poster, the Yaka art department. So he added on those writings. Find your inner artist anytime, any day, anywhere. And then he gave us that image. Then he created those side stickers, then empower the youth for the future. So basically that was it. And even us ahead, we are going to be introduced to designing posters, because it is very key for us to know in our art field. So this is one of the work I want us to contribute towards the work. We're starting with the artist, and the more to us all who have something to say about it. So sir,
Yes.
this is your work. He sent it to me. I think we have not yet discussed it.
Yes. As you
Yes.
I did it last year, and
Okay.
that that 2008 right there was a mistake.
Mm.
Well, I wouldn't say really mistake. I would just say design. It was kind of like a design, and I did it digitally.
Okay. Thank you for that input. Isaac, you have something to say about the work?
Looks like more of a graffiti style, something you can spray on. It's
Okay.
nice, so good. Fact
Wow.
that you can see like some like droplets
Mm. Yeah, thank you for all those.
falling down like touches to the opinion. That's it. So good.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like the paint is dripping.
Well, thank you guys for those inputs. And basically, this work is going to introduce us to graphic designing. Okay. In graphic designing is where we have all these form of arts. The graffiti falls under graphics, and it falls under graphics art, and also modern art or contemporary art, whereby it's all about we express our feelings in the way we do want it. And basically, I love the concept of overlapping. Do you understand the concept of overlapping in this work, or have a clue about it?
Yes, some of the letters are crossing over to other letters. That's what I.
Okay, that is very true. And yes, that concept is really good, and it should be applied in all the works we do. Okay, overlapping is very key in our works, and ahead as we go on for discussing these lessons, we shall get to know how unique and better it can be when we create overlapping in each and every work we do. So this is very good, and I do appreciate. Yeah, then more about the sign, the signature, or the date. Yeah, it is good. We often create dates on the times we did the work. You get me? So if you do the work within this week, you just create, you make, for me, I don't put the date, but I just create the year. So it is very key because it helps us to track our progress. So I did this last year, but now I'm doing this form of art. So you can go ahead and create more with different colors and the different techniques. Yeah, these are very good works. We have Christabel. Christabel, can you extend the voice? Your voice? How are you? Oh, we can't hear you. Hopefully you are doing good. Okay. Just mute your microphone so that we can continue. So we also have this. Someone has something to say about this?
Yes.
Yes,
I made that thing quite when I made that thing when I was very young, but while I was looking through my book for something to inspire me to redraw, I found that and decided, let me just share it with my teacher.
Okay. Okay, thank you for that. Christabel, you say, I'm fine. I have poor connection now. Oh, sorry about it, but hopefully you can follow up and you can clearly get us. Okay, so, wow, this is good. And we would love to see the new version of this. If you did this sometime back, it is very good when we get into our archive and see where I've come and get inspired to share this work. So about this work, Sad, Isaac, do you have something to say about the work?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
The picture is nice for a child at his age. So me, what I am seeing is that, like, this picture is from long ago, and it's of a praying mantis, I think. The shadow is there, but it's better. It is better if, like, he redraws it and he shows that what he can do, like, now. Shows us that he's better than he was before. Because drawing this at the age of 10, it's a very good improvement. And if I look at it in the eyes of a 10-year-old child, say this is amazing, a good artist. That's what we used to say when we were young, good artist.
Okay, thank you for that input. Christabel, in case you have something to extend to us, you can just use the text and share your input about what you are seeing on the screen. More to this, yes, it is really good, as I said, and you guys have extended it. That if this work was done at the age of 10, it can be good if we now see what you can create at this time, okay? And this basically takes in more of your effort and concentration. You may not really do the same composition. You may just get to do another composition, but related to this, and it will be good. So we can see that we have I wonder what one of the things I love about this work is that the shadow effect, okay? The shadow effect. The shadow effect here in this work is really good because you can see this is the insect he drew, but there is a shadow The only challenge I'm seeing with the shadow is that it is too strong, just because you used a marker. So in the works you will create more, it will be good if you try to use, you don't use a marker. And I discussed this one time that let us try to go into one material. If we have decided to use a pencil work, let us try to do pencil work. If we have decided to do colored pencils, let us try to do colored pencils. For markers, I will be letting you know as we start off with our graphic designing. Okay, so that is very important. And the more to the work is the shadow has now covered up the original work. So if the shadow is too dark beyond the work, it tends to make it lose its value. For example, here the black that is coming, that is popping in here, tend to cause us to realize that okay, the shadow is stronger than the original work, just because you use the marker, and which is very, very strong. Pick nice, his work is okay. Yeah, those inputs are, thank you for extending in those. More to this, yes. I think we talked about such scenarios. The work of art, we should have it on its own. We should not add more uneven works around it. So it is very important for us to share, to do a perfect work, and also utilize the background very well. So these small inputs that come in, they are not good to be seen in the work. Then more is the background shading. Yes, if you gave it a good shading, you tried out with the shading, but more to it can be good if you balance up the shading. It should be even. We have dark tones here, but besides it, we have light tones. Again, we have tones that are going upward, but beside it, they are going horizontal, vertical. So you should balance them up in terms of your application. In case you decide to go vertical, you go vertical. In case you decide to go horizontal, you go horizontal. In case you decide to do lighter shades, you do lighter shades. In case you have decided to do strong shades, you do that. So it is very, very key for us all to get to know this. And more to this, yeah, we have this one. Wow. Yes.
Good morning.
Good morning, guys. Tell us.
So, no, actually, when I was drawing, I remembered the time when you drew a flower. And I said, let me also try out and see if I can do as well as him. So I drew a flower. I looked and looked, and I got the dolphin colors. Inside they had super bright or something.
Okay, wow, that's good.
I got the dolphin colors, tried to put out the light tones and the what and the what. So this is the outcome.
Wow. Wow. Okay. So guys, tell us what do you have to say about his work? If I extend in my input. Hello. Laura, you have joined in. Esther, you have also joined in. Christabel, you're also on. Sad, you can also extend in. So guys, I want you to tell me something about this work.
I like it too. Isaac, this is really amazing because of the way you made the leaves darker and bright, and the way you colored the entire thing. It's really amazing.
Okay.
Thank you so much. But if you look closely, I did not finish it.
Okay. Anything else to say from the rest? Esther, you have joined in. Just extending your voice by giving us, sending in a greeting to us, and also discussing what is on the screen. Laura, you're also on the call. Can you extend something about the work? Christabel says,
I think it has a nice color.
Okay. Laura say talks of application of color, which is really good. Okay. So it is very key. Thank you guys for this. I will say I will give you a tick on this work. It's really good. Yes. So wonderful from Christabel. Now about this work, it is really good. And as you say, it is not complete, but the fact that you have achieved to this level, people will still appreciate. Okay. And one time I told you guys that imagine this world without color. How would it be? Okay. So color is very attractive. The application of color is really attractive. And the fact that we are seeing color here, it is good. But more to it, also the way it is applied on the paper to achieve the dark tones and the light tones, it is also good. So you went ahead to get the dolphin colors, which is really very good, and they will do for you very well. What I will say to this is, okay, we in one of the elements that I'm going to continue discussing today, we have what we call the value scale. Okay, do you have any clue about the value scale, guys?
The way the picture is like shaped, it has to be even at all sides.
The value scale. Okay, you say the way the picture is shaped has to be. Okay. Anyone who has something to say about the value scale? Okay, yeah, just to continue is that the good thing with the way we have applied is that even in the color, we have tonal variation. We have a dark point and a lighter point of a color, which is very, very key that we should apply in our works. When I took look at this, when I look at, let me just extend in. When I look at this, you see this movement from the dark grades to the light pink. That is very key. Even they are seen here. Those are very important points for us to do, because if you remember in one of the first year work we were discussing, I talked about the overlapping effect. And overlapping is the one that caused this tonal variation, because when you create a tone, you have to show that one part is below the other or one part is above the other. So we create that when we try to put in the elements of creating dark tones. For example, here, we just know that this, where there is this green, we have some light dark tones because pink is above the green color. The flower is above the leaf. So it is very key when we start putting in those concepts. And I do appreciate what you did here. more to this, I would ask you to tell us what is missing in your work, because you said it's incomplete.
You see the center of the flower.
Exactly.
The center of the flower. It's the one that is missing, but I decided to leave it like that. Because where I was copying from, it wasn't pleasing to look at, because it had some yellow, white, black things. So I didn't want to add them.
Okay, yeah,
the color looks so complex.
Okay, that is nature. You see, nature it has a variety of colors. So you do not like it, but if you extended it to do it, would have seen the natural effect of it. More to that, the veins, the veins in the leaf. Okay, those additional lines that pop out.
Again, I say I wasn't copying from the real flower. I was copying from certain piece, like those sewn kind of things like that.
Okay, I do understand that, but more to that, guys, when I think one time I explained to us this, that when we do a work of art, I think you also did it one time. You had a tree, you drew a tree, but you went beyond what you are seeing and you added in imagination, not so? And to this, I would say that, okay, when you do what you are seeing, you can go ahead and add in your imagination in relation to making your work look beautiful. So just to add on that, you can continue and address up that, put that. But this is really wonderful, and the fact that you have achieved this in color and you are showing us the tone of variation, it is very key for us to know and to see. So just continue practicing. Remember, guys, I told you practice makes perfect, and we shall get better as we continue. Yeah, so more to this is the application of color. So here we basically look at the complementary colors, of which we are going to discuss in the color wheel sometime ahead with when we continue together. But before I continue, I would love to I would love to hear from us, guys. How many of us have access to the content on the website? Yes, just by show of hand, or extending in the text in the group. I've seen only Kaylee who has content. Okay, Laura, you also have content. You have access to the content. Isaac, do you have content? Do you have access to the content?
No, I don't. Because when I got there to the site, they only show me, they show me most of the services, but they don't show me art. So
okay, the tech team will be handling that to make sure that you are part of the content we share here. Yeah, because it is very key. It has the extra assignments that we are supposed to do, and if we attach them with these outside assignment we do, it can be really good and make us be more active. Christobel, do you have access to the content? And Esther? Okay, so let me extend in. this, let me share again as we go through the content. But more to it, I would love us to, I will be addressing those who have not yet shared, who have not yet got access to the content, so that we can get, because as we are leading ahead, we shall be having our lessons in relation to what we have done on the unit that we have on the content. So previously, I introduced you guys these following things, and we talked about, we are discussing the elements of art. Before my internet went off, and we said that they are very, very key to us. Just a recap, I will now want to hear, guys, what we have to say about this in relation to the work we have created.
So when we first talked about the elements of art, when I was drawing the flower, I started with shape, started sketching out some different shapes until I found the appropriate shape for the flower. Then I started outlining the lines. Then I continued to the texture. Then I was done.
Okay, that is good. You have missed out one. I would love another guy. Color.
Yes.
There's another one also.
And space. I worked properly with space.
Yeah, space is the first one, and it is very important to us all. Yes, other guys. Laura, you are not on the last lesson we had. Kaylee. Kaylee. Okay, Esther. Esther, I want to hear from you. Christopher. Christopher, you may be putting in your headsets that don't have a speaker on them. That may be one of the cause. Yes, we can now hear you. Okay, anyway, yeah, but more to this, just to continue, is that I said, guys, these are very, very important, and we discussed part of them last week, but again, today we are going to have a discussion about them. And the reason why I'm emphasizing them is because they are the foundation of the art we create. They are the foundation. And last week I said, 2 or 3 words when you're discussing your work, they will pop out. 2 or 3, when people are seeing your work, they will share them out, okay? People will appreciate color, people will appreciate the lines you've used, people will appreciate the texture, people will appreciate the way you have utilized space. So it is very, 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 very important and very key for us to master them. They should be on our fingertips, okay? We should be able to explain them even when we have spent some time without reading. Okay, they should be part of us. And once we master them, to be honest, the works you create will be marvelous. They will be really good and they will be detailed. Because once we get to understand them, we tend to create work in relation to them. And once they are caught very well, wow, it is something good achieved. So about space, I tell you that when we are doing a work of art, we will have positive and negative space, whereby positive is the area occupied by the artwork, and the negative is the area that is around the artwork. So when we are trying to do any artwork, we should balance it up. The positive space should not occupy too much of the space of the area we are drawing on. The same, the negative space should not be too big on the artwork, but should be balanced up. It is very key when you are going to do a work of art. That is what it brings up scenarios that students draw. You see, he has a big paper, but he has drawn something small, and it is not relational to the size of the paper. We realize that the remaining paper is too big, but the artwork he has drawn is very small, the point that I can cut it off and remain with the big space on the paper. And so it is very key for us to get to know this. And we have positive and negative, of which I've explained that positive is the area that is covered by the artwork, and negative is the area surrounding the artwork. So it should be balanced. The area occupied by the artwork should be bigger or closely equal to the area around the artwork. As you can see here on the tree, realize that, okay, we can see the space is there, but we have also some area around it, and that creates the breathing space. When you over occupy your object on a paper, it will make it to look that it is not fitting on the paper. It is too big for the paper. And if you do something small, it will show us that the work is not really, it is too small for the paper. So we should try to understand that and balance it up on how we are going to do our work. It is very, very key. And we talked about the lines, of which it is the second element, that before you, or when you get space, the other thing you'll create is a line. Before you create shape, you create a line. And we basically discussed that different types of line are used in different areas, can be used to create texture, can be used to create shape, can be used to create a movement, can be used to create direction, can be used to create effects and designs. So it is really very important for us to get to know the different types of line and where to use them. More to this, we have the shape. Okay. So basically we say that shape is an enclosed line. I want us to really get that. It is an area with well-defined boundaries, and you can see in this artwork, how did the artist utilize shape? Yes, do you have something to say about it?
He drew all kinds of shape, and it came out well.
Yeah, so you can see that he emphasized shape in the work, and he drew all kinds, let me say most of them, because we have more to these shapes. And it is very important. And what makes the work to come out is the addition of color on shapes. So, and more to this, we see in this drawing, in this watercolor drawing, how did he achieve, where do we see shape and how did he achieve it? Guys, I want us to participate on this. Yes. Sad, what do you have to say about that? Or Isaac?
He drew the picture in a triangular shape. Most of the apples that he drew in using the watercolor are taking the shape of a triangle, are arranged in the form of a triangle. So that is the shape he or her chose to do, to use.
And yes, Sad. Okay, we have not heard you.
Sorry, I was saying that Isaac already mentioned it.
Okay. Laura and Esther. Okay, let me just extend in my input to this. Yeah, the reason why I added this quirk on the or this drawing here is for us to see that there is what we call the general shape in a composition. Okay, you see now what you have called that shape is that, okay, first of all, you see that the apple is from a circle. That is by default. But more to this, the way they have been arranged on the plate, they tend to create the shape that we are seeing there. And we as artists, when we are going to draw any composition, it is very, very important for us to first identify the general shape. In other words, the shape that forms up each and everything that is in the artwork. Are we together? For example, you are given let me say this. You see that animal to be drawn. You can identify out that shape. As you can see in the negative space, it has already created the shape. But more to what I want to say is that you first identify out the general shape, because that general shape will give you how you're going to utilize your paper. Okay, it is very important for us to have that in mind. So then more to that is you identify the shape in each object in your composition. And we have rectangles, we have triangles, we have circles, we have cones, and all forms of shape are very important for us to get to know. Then more to that, now we get to tones. Okay, tones are very important, and basically it is the variation of color, or dark tones and the lighter tones. In relation to the effect of light, now more to this, we want to also have to discuss the value. Value. Can someone read to us the element of value, so that I should start on explaining to it? Yes, Kylie.
Value refers to the degree of lightness or darkness of a given object in three-dimensional art. It is the amount of light that seems to be coming from the viewer of an art piece. The more forms protrude, the sharper the contrast, and the higher the value, and vice versa.
Okay. Thank you. Yes, I think as I was trying to extend in some like my input to Isaac's work, I talked about the value scale. And the value scale is very important. So it is the assignment we are going to do. Okay. That is the assignment you're going to do today. And basically it is very simple, okay? I don't expect anyone to say that I failed it, because it is very simple, and with art we don't fail, the fact that we have done something. Yeah, so we see here on this image, we have value, and we're just seeing the transitioning from dark to light. Okay, it is very important. Now, what I will request us to do is to just draw this concept, okay? Let us draw small boxes. Let me stop sharing and okay, I think we can see the whiteboard on this. So basically it's going to be like this. You're going to draw very straight lines. It is going to be very small. It may be of 10 centimeters. Here it is 10 centimeters. And here we're going to use 2 centimeters. More to this, I will do, these are centimeters, sorry. Then you divide it into 5 pieces. You can even do more than that. Yes, so after we do that, I will want you to get your art pencils, okay? Your art pencils, and with your art pencils, I want you to extend in the dark tones. You shade here very dark. Then as you go towards this last box, you should have the lighter tones, okay? Have we got the concept?
Yes.
Yeah, and more to this, it will be something like it will give us let me share again. Yeah, I would want us to create something like this. The value scale. We get our art pencils. We try to create dark tones towards the light tones. Okay. I think we are seeing this. The reason why it is very good for us to create it is because it gives us a foundation on how we are going to deal with the artworks we are doing. It gives us a foundation of how we are going to deal with the artworks we are doing. So that is something I would want us to do, and let us do it with all our strength, with all our minds on it. More to it, we shall be explaining what is the outcome as we discuss these things more. Then that will be the end of. We shall discuss the artworks next week when we have our lesson. And more to this, we are going to be discussing in our next lesson because we still have a lot to it. I want us to understand them slowly by slowly. And thank you so much for everything, for being active in this lesson. In case you have something to say, just you have, I will give you 2 minutes, then we shall be winding up. For us who have something to say.
Excuse me, teacher.
Yes.
Before we leave, I would like us to have something, you give us an assignment, we draw something and then we send it.
Okay.
Because things are getting over, I'm almost drawing everything.
Okay, I will be extending in the picture that we are going to be drawing from. And yeah, thank you for that. I will do so. But with our self-paced learning, we try to make it more from you. You draw what is of interest, then we discuss. But I will address that in the group, and I hope we'll get the assignment. Anyone has something to say?